Now you can hear me. Let's try that again. Here we go. Final hour of trading, guys. This is what the markets are looking like. 0.2 for the S&P, 0.2 for the Dow to the downside. The NASDAQ leading the way. It's been all day long. 0.62 to the upside for tech stocks. Nicely positive here for crypto as well at the bottom end, guys. That being said, we have all kinds of individual names to discuss as we head towards the close.
Yep. One of those names, and I'm playing it.
We're back. I got CRISPR here quickly on this. Might break right now.
High day. Oh my
$98 on CRISPR Therapeutics here. Looking to take this out, so we're going to go long. We'll punch our ticket through here if we can get it on CRISPR. So a nice battle back all day on this stock, and it looks like it just took off from 97. So we'll see what happens right here, guys. Right to the upside. CRISPR Therapeutics, we're going to try to watch that. If it fails, man, we're only going to take this for 50 cents on the way back. So 97.50 is our out if it fails, guys.
Hey, I was actually going to talk about that aloe because it popped up here. You're going to remember this is the gap, monster gap down last week. Had a recovery briefly up to about 1640 here, and they made a bottom at 13. Right back up to that level now. So I just grabbed the short in front of it. If it stops out, I'll give it to 1650. We'll take that one out. Still have some positions on from the morning. The GWH, yeah, I'm still in that one, and it's just basically a dying quail. At this point, I don't think I've used that term before, but it's continuing to fall. And I just said, I keep pulling my bid back further and further the farther it goes here. And I'm now sitting in front of 16, about 16 and a half here. I want to see if it can get all the way down to that price. I still have a little bit of plug, but not too much left. But the new one was Orphazyme. Do you guys remember Orph? So, well, it didn't Orph all over itself. That's ORPH, Neil. I'm just sort of telling myself how much I can't type. But Orphazyme, on just essentially social media, I guess, talk on the low float and in the short interest. I mean, Brennan can confirm here. Halted up at 460. It then popped on a reopen and then flush. You get the lower consolidation, yada yada yada, below VWAP here, and then essentially I was shorting the pop. So off of the halt price, 460, shorting in front of 5 in VWAP, and then taking most of it out in front of that halt price at 460. So that's the formula. If it breaks 5, I'm out. If it breaks 460, I'm holding down to the low. Although when it's like day one, like the stock, the last time it made a move, it kind of went further than this, obviously. But when it's day one after just a capitulation and consolidation at the bottom like this, we've seen these, I guess, go in the past, in the last couple of weeks. So, if Orphazyme actually ends up holding up 460, maybe even closing above 5, then heck, man, you might even see me try to go along this thing tomorrow. For now, it's still below $5. And I'm shorting that price, and I'm holding through 460. But hey, given the fact this is day one, sometimes you catch these day 2, day 3, and I'm not going to believe in the chance that it goes any further. But you never know. You've seen these things squeeze in the past. It's a pretty low float. Brennan, what's up, bud?
All right, so we get the Fed minutes, as we discussed this morning at 2 p.m. It was, I guess, much to do, but not much at all. So we go higher, we go lower on volume, and then just kind of fading off here a little bit for the overall market. They did, in the minutes, it did say they did discuss when to start tapering. 10 billion a month or 5 billion a month are the options. A few participants saying that they wanted it even faster than what was proposed. Anyways, the moral of the story, they will revisit the subject once again, guys, at their November meeting. Tapering could start then, December, possibly January, for this bond buying asset program, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we know it's coming. Just a matter of when, I guess, the tapering. So I guess they're trying to straighten that out for everybody. So that'd be good. Let's just have it happen, and then we can trade from there. We've been doing not Microsoft, this is called Apple, all day today, long out, and then we got this amazing bottom there. No idea how this happened. It just must have cracked through 139.25, and now we have the very low of the day on Softy again. I said it on Apple, and now we'll go all the way to the upside, 140.80. So we're still long here, man. 139.20. So you can see that on the board right now. We'll try to get some revenge on JP Morgan at some point as well. But right now, Apple, we're going to try to hold this. I mean, if we break back down through here like 140.20 or so on a bad NASDAQ print coming into the end of the day, then we'll see what we're going to do. But right now, the NASDAQ trying to hold up. We've seen what's happened the last couple of days at the close where it's given it all back. So we'll wait. We're going to put an offer right here, 140.20, and then we'll just take $1, right? So we'll let the bulls kick, hopefully, the rest of the afternoon, and we will take that $1 smooth, hopefully, on Apple. Hopefully more. Hopefully we can get $1.90 up there. But if it breaks back down through here, 140.20 or so, just this level, I mean, it makes sense. We dipped down there, bounce back up. We dipped right there, bounce back up. So let's see if we can do it one more time. 140, let's call it 140.15 on the out here to put that dollar in our pocket. But Apple, we're just watching it. It could crack lower anytime. So we're going to be very, very careful about that name. And AMD is going to be your trade of the day. We talked about that earlier. We absolutely destroyed this real fast, real quick. 106 long out to the upside, and then now it's just kind of cruising, barcoding all afternoon. So again, the NASDAQ breaking 108, 108.50, 108.40 here. We're going to have to be very, very careful with some of these trades. So let me put my Apple trade in. And again, oh yeah, by the way, DATS. Like, how much did that save me right there? We went long again, out, and then we got out again when it broke through at that time, the low of the day. So all this DATS profit, I keep giving it back by holding that last third almost every time. We're still going to be positive on DATS. I mean, this was a profitable trade here because we got out right there at 12.30 off of an 11.70, and then our last out was 11.16. So out of 2/3, hold that last third. DATS still one of my top stocks today, just not as high as it could have been if we just stayed away rate. Well, we didn't stay away, but if we just shorted there and then got out of the top. But anyways, DATS looking for make a move off $11. I think it could still go, but I don't know, man. DATS.
There's one last level I think on the bid on DATS. I think at like 10.65 or so. That if it pops down through 11 another time, I guess I'll give it a shot for a long because I've been giving it back on DATS, trying to long every single time at the bottom. This JSPR is. I know a lot of people are looking at it, and there's not a heck of a lot to see. I mean, it made the test at 18 that I missed. That 18 on the daily chart, you can sort of see here. That was the previous all-time high, and now it's basically barcoding. If it makes a retest to the high of the day, there's probably a trade there, maybe shorting in front of it, then taking a break at the quarter mark. Maybe that takes you to 20 or something like that. Otherwise, it's got to break 15 even. If it takes out 15 to the downside, I think there could be a short in here on that JSPR. But look, it has to take that level out, unfortunately. Plug was interesting because, there we go. I'm still sitting in this long, but when the Fed minutes came out, it kind of looked like it was going to make the break. So it did that whole thing where kind of a dip down when the release happened, and then it spiked and broke through the high of the day. I'm like, okay, here we go. Let's run to 34. And then it came all the way back into 33. Then after this consolidation, I've now trailed this one, so I won't let this break at 33. My longs over here, this 32.40 area. So I'm still looking for Plug to continue this breakout. Here's what it looks like on the daily chart and why I kind of feel like Plug can go a little bit further before it runs into trouble here. I think maybe it can get to this at some point, 35. It's a 200 period moving average, but it's also this resistance level. So Plug's been on a mini break. I think 35 is where it runs into resistance. That gives it some room to continue to go. I'm kind of hoping it gets to that 34 today. I'm giving it that chance with a trail at 33, so I can't do any worse than 55 to 60 cents on the last of the trade, but I'd like to make a little bit more than that. I mean, the futures, it would be nice if they would continue the move to the upside, but it's been very whippy since 2 o'clock when the Fed minutes came out. Not much you can do about it. Unfortunately, that Allo just broke through the high, so the first trade we put on, the ones that are on are okay, but Allo trying to now fill in that gap. It's through that 1660. I don't think it's going all the way back to 21. If it does, you'd probably see me go short, but that would be crazy. I don't think it's going there.
Oh my God, we have I was going to say we have a good opportunity to use something that we haven't used in a while because it's kind of annoying, but I'm going to find it here. Actually, I've used it, but never using it. Oh, there it is. Never using it with good reason. Listen. Dada. You guys hear that? Let's do it one more time.
Huh?
Hold on a second.
Dada.
Dada, yeah. You gotta let them hear it. DADA here on the NASDAQ, and the reason why is because finally Dada maybe is in the building again. So Dada right now finally just breaking through 2150. If you look at the daily chart again, some of these Chinese names starting to go a little bit here on the 20 minutes. So 2050 at the bottom, 2150 just showed up on a scanner there, 2150. So watch out for Dada. I'm not in it or anything. I just think that that was kind of fun that we haven't had that in a while. So there's Dada. So shout out to anybody.
Brendan's favorite stock?
That's what I was saying. Yeah, anybody trading Dada there. I don't know if it's his favorite stock, but Rob had something fun there that he created. So anyways, that's Dada starting to go. You know what? It's funny because Dada Dog right now, Dada Dog. Look at this. Look at this, man. I mean, I don't know how we missed this morning, but there's lots of stocks that do this every day, so no surprise. But Dada Dog, wow. 146 up to 155, almost in a straight line. A few pullbacks, but since then, straight to the upside. We could see what's happening now, but Dada Dog up 6.94%. Let's not forget that. And then quickly here on the 1 minute chart, we'll go back over to Apple. I'm getting close to getting out of this. this. Actually, I don't know. I'm sitting right here in the 80s. So if we can get to the high side here on Apple, man, we'll take out this $1.70, ring the Reggie on this, and then get out so we don't have to worry about this potential move down in the end of the day. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but there it is. Good job holding. Hold my bear. I like that. Hold my beer, hold my bear. I actually like that. You bought some Palantir calls. Good job. I mean, I love Palantir off that 23. We've seen it hold there over and over and over again. So Palantir, if the market rebounds, obviously that's going to be a favorite of mine. What's up, Brendan?
Rob cracks himself up around here. Chinese stocks. One more time. Why not? Chinese stocks strong today. This is an ETF I just saw. Yin, YINN on the NYSE American. 6.2%. Look at this volume that just came in here at day highs. Huge monster spike. So again, a 3 times bull Chinese stock ETF, guys.
Where's the yank? No, not even bothering.
I thought he was going to hit it again there. I was waiting for it, giving it some silence there.
What you guys can't see right now is Rob like basically losing his mind, laughing at the this data thing, which is great, man. You know, whatever makes you happy, whatever floats your boat.
It's pretty funny, but yeah.
It's kind of funny. The graphics nice.
Is it
like
ha funny? You know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I wouldn't necessarily be falling over, but don't fall over while doing the board. I did want to come back to Aloe for a second because it does one of those. Aloe, yeah, it does one of those. Aloe's a fantastic restaurant in Toronto, by the way. I can't wait to get back there. Not ALLO, but ALO. If it breaks this, it broke the high, that 1650, and then just immediate rejection of the high break and a parabolic candle, which 9 times out of 10, I should say, is a re-entry point. There's probably situations in which I wouldn't do it, but I do take the re-entry off of that 1640 level. So I'm now back into Aloe very, very quickly there. And then a bit of a breakdown here in Orphazyme. So yeah, I mean, that thing that Orf does where it Orfs all over itself is happening once again. So it just broke that 460 low.
What the flip?
And I'd have been on board. For anyone that's bullish in this one, and it still could close above this halt price at 460, but could it have held this and broken back above 5? You'd have had me on board that there's going to be a continuation for tomorrow, and we can think about longing this because it's just got so much room to go. You're $4 at the bottom, which is a hard bottom. I mean, look at the stock, right? Like, I can't even pull up the daily chart without laughing chuckling here. It's not funny when people got bag holding on the stock. What am I even talking about? So at the end of the day, we had talked about that one at length, and people, please we were begging people take your profit on Orphazyme. There's no such thing as too early. Now it looks like it is coming all the way back in. If you haven't guessed it, $4 here, 460 break. Am I going to be getting shares out between 420 and 430? Yeah, absolutely. So if it continues to flush, I'll probably be all flat somewhere around the halfway point to giving it all back. At this time of the day, I don't really think it's going to come all the way down, even if it does flush. It's just very slowly on, almost no volume grinding down. I don't even need to show you guys the volume. Trust me. It's just sliding down, and the volume is absolutely cratering here.
New position alert. CRISPR just came in. So we have CRISPR Therapeutics now. The Kathy Wood stock, I believe this is the one that she's been buying lately. It was down pretty good today, down 4.5%. Was down a lot lower, and we just take out that high. So now we'll hold it, man. I wonder if this may be, PaySafe. Thanks, Todd. Yeah, PaySafe. I saw that. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to jinx PaySafe, but maybe it finally has an update at some point. But CRISPR Therapeutics, we talked about where we were going to get out, right? 97.50 if it broke. So we're going to take 50 cents same way if it goes upside. So we're going to wait there at 90. It's going to be 40 cents, 98.48 or so. Straight ahead. Here we go. Yes, sir. Let's see if CRISPR can go now. This is a name that we just gave you guys. Hopefully this can work out. Breaking through 98. Love the momentum. All the way to the upside. Volume picking up just a little bit on the bottom side, but I don't know. I mean, whether or not it goes or not, I don't know. But this is a name that, you know, I'm in it, and we'll give it a shot here. Back to 97.50, this area of concern, but it just did tick up there, sort of 98.35. So it could have been 30 cent win or so, but we'll hold on to it and see, hopefully crossing our fingers and see if that can go. Just on Apple here, again, on the 1 minute chart, you know, we're still long there. I'm going to hold out for this level. I mean, it just touched 70. What's the difference for 15 cents? But let's just paint the picture nicely here. Maybe we can get out near the top. I'm a little bit worried about the NASDAQ pulling back in. We will give you the imbalances, of course, coming out at 350 for all of these names. Another name today, we started the show off by, I think it was NHL, right? A new deal here with the NHL for DraftKings. So that started the stock going real nice off the open there. Boom. Good trade off the open with volume breaking through 49.50, touching 50.50, but that was the high and that was it. So ever since then, man, DraftKings coming back in. This is a nasty break if it happens. So you're going to get ready for that. 49.50, 49. I mean, we could go 49.50 even. Why don't we just do that? If the market does fall down, this is the name that we want to have on board. So 49.50 on a DraftKings break. I like the stock. I just feel like in today, there's a lot of growth names that are up, like that PaySafe, like some of the EV names, like Square's up 2%. And it's just DraftKings right now is fine, but I think it should have been up a little bit more on some of that news. So they always hit DraftKings, it seems. So I'm going to go with it and take it to the south side here if the market comes back in. So DraftKings looking for short, CRISPR, Apple, that's it so far. And then we'll look for DraftKings.
And one on the list here, and I'm glad you brought it up, Jude, because we ended the show, I think, talking a little bit about CCXI, and I think we'll get to some of the other ones because there's something, what's the other symbol? Oh, it'll come to me. But CCXI, yesterday's action, you saw the flush. This is the one that we got out way too early, the 42 and the 41 short. But it's now held this bottom here at 34.5, 35 several times. I got the 15-minute up chart for perspective, but if you zoom it in, this is that lower high from the afternoon show at 36.75, and then this is the high of the day here. If it takes out this lower high, look, to me, it's just going to be a bit of a breakout long, right? Like if you sort of look at what happened with the stock, and we thought it could fill in the entirety of the gap, it couldn't quite do it. I really do want to take a shot at this, can even come back into that 40 range. For now, as a day trade, I'd be happy if it got to 38, if it broke that 36.75. But had it broken that low, had it broken that low of the day, I think I would have been more inclined to just be all over shorting this one as I just tried again on Allo and that took out the top again. So I'm not going to fight this one. I know, Allo. It's too low hanging fruit.
It's like a French thing. Hello.
It's a French thing. Yeah, it's hello in French. But CCXI, sometimes I'd be sitting in this short, but I actually like this one for the breakout to the long side, just given overall the news is positive, and it never quite got back to where this was before they had the scare on this particular drug. So we're going to go along there. I'm really trying to be patient with that because, as I think I said, I just tried so many times off the bottom here, the last one being when it broke this 11.25. And if you go all the way back, and yes, the 15 minutes going to be way better for this. So we'll go to the 15-minute chart so you can kind of see here on DATS. If you go all the way back here, there is one kind of wipeout bottom. Well, there's two of them that could come into play. If it breaks this 11 definitively, you're kind of looking at this wick down to 1070. If that were to go, I'm looking at, it's like $10, but really it actually came to 970. So oddly enough, 1070, 970, those are two levels worth playing. If it happens to dip, I'll try to only go long if it goes right in front of those. I mean, it's been absolutely crazy, this stock. So we'll see what happens with that. But one thing is for sure, like my read on this thing trying to go long has been terrible. There's been good bounces, and yet I've managed to throw away, I was positive on this stock when we ended the show, and it's like I'm now negative because I kept trying to go long, and then instead of taking what profits it would give me, I would take a little bit out, and then I would get even more in. So it's like it doesn't work doing it that way, and sometimes you can be up on the day and not happy with the result. If DATS decides that it wants to continue flushing, fair enough. There's only two longs I like. We just gave them to you. I'm not going to be long here, as tempting as it is, in front of 11 even.
I'm just with Michael. Yeah, my PC just keeps disconnecting here, so I'm trying to get our IT team over on top of this to see what's going on. Yeah, no, the network, so it's not P-Pro 8, yeah. Okay, so just back here, I'm only managing, again, I am having some PC problems. You saw my PC, I don't know if you guys are watching, but I was doing a set on the Memes and Movers show, and my PC just snapped. No, Rob, I don't think it's that. They're saying that it disconnected from the port, the switch, at least 4 times since I've asked for help, which was 10 minutes ago. So I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to wait to see what they do. So okay, so that's that. But again, I'm going to trade a little more cautiously now. So we'll wait to see. Bradley Taylor, in your long-term account at Neil at Sean, do you prefer to buy individual stocks for dividend or prefer a fund? Yeah, I like, it's just this question. I like dividend stocks. Obviously, I don't actually hold any ETFs, but I do like that. And I have my kids my kids' education fund in mutual funds, which are dividend mutual funds on the TSX. So that's what I have there. But other than that, I just do my own. I've been self-investing since 21 or 22. Whenever I got out of school, I just started buying stock, which is why I have, Apple at like $70, I think, is my Apple price. Like, this is all like, I was buying that stock. That's why you hear me say stories like, oh, I was long Netflix at $50. Like, it doesn't matter what I'm doing now. It's just that I've been doing this for a while. So that's why we have some of those plays in there. But yeah, I prefer dividends. Why not?
I mean, I love dividends. I can tend to be conservative in the long term, but I'll do both at the end of the day. I mean, there's a couple of like dividend paying like ETFs that are okay here in Canada. I mean, there's the Vanguard ones. The XEI is a decent one. I have some of that here in Canada. There's SPY-D if you're interested in that kind of a thing. But I've always done both. Like, I hold things like Pfizer for the dividend, and then if when I'm investing in so the overall space, and when it comes to semis, like in the Intel portion, part of it's the turnaround, but then part of it is like it's the dividend company that in the worst case scenario, if we have this like tapering, yada yada yada, and then we have like inflation, which I still think is going to be a thing, then that'll hold up probably a little bit better off of some of its lows than the rest of your semi portfolio. But to me, to simplify things, it's not a horrible way to go to jump into some ETFs. You're not worrying about where to get in, which individual stock to buy. Sometimes if you like if you're sitting there like, oh, I want to buy a dip on Moderna or Biogen, well, pick up an ETF that's highly weighted in both of them. The name slips my mind here. And then you're not worrying about that. You're diversified. And then you're going to benefit from the fact those are pretty heavily weighted, likely because they're expensive with big market caps. And then you'll get the benefit of them bouncing back to the upside without the risk of like, where do you buy Moderna on a dip? It's just sometimes it can simplify things. And if you're holding for the long term, it honestly, it's not going to matter too much. Like, obviously, if you pick the right stocks, that's fantastic for you, but that's not an easy game. The name that I was trying to talk about here when I was mentioning CCIX or whatever the hell that is, was CRXT, which I think someone asked a question about. And ultimately, this stock here, it's been a fade all day long. So my assumption is usually people are like, okay, what do I do with it now? Maybe I'm holding a bag, or should I take profit in it along those lines? This is one to me, like, if you look at since it came to market, this $7 level was probably what you needed to break today if you're going to have a big monster extension. So it's pulled back ridiculously hard off of this level. It's hard to like that. You want to see it probably hold up above $6. Had it done that, I'd say maybe it has a shot at breaking $7 tomorrow. And at this point, you're just looking for like a squeeze play, or maybe people talk it up in the message boards, something like that, to give it a secondary look. It's holding up 5. It's the only positive thing I can say about this. I would probably be leaning on the sides of shorting this one off of $7 tomorrow if it popped, let alone even the $6 level. That's just my thoughts here, just given how far it's pulled back in. The volume is really starting to taper off. There's always a chance it can break in the last half hour of the day and change my mind, but it's showing all the signs of weakness, turning around at the most obvious level, then not even holding the level below it when you look at the daily chart. None of those are good things, in my opinion, so we'll see what happens there on CRTX. Orphazyme, hey, look at that. It just spiked to the upside. So I do have the last of my shares. I'm not really looking to add back into this at $5. I kind of feel like if it takes out 5, then maybe it's good for a run. Like I was saying, it's day one here. It's at least showing some signs. It's held this halt price pretty well. It just broke it, and I thought it was about to orf all over itself. I put a bid down in here in the 30s, thinking it was imminent, and now we're right back above that 460. So if it comes down here again, because it's the end of the day, I will probably just cover this in front of that halt price. If it gives me that 465 area, we'll go take the 30-cent winner. It's a $5 stock. And when these respect that halt price on the first day through, a lot of times it means that, there's some people making those bets, and it has a decent chance to make a bit of a run. So there's some defense of that price. Like I said, it's day one. There's no really hard news here. It's just getting talked up on the message boards. But when it's low float, like, I hate to say it, like, fundamentally it means nothing, but reality is, with these low float names, sometimes that's enough, and you get a couple of days worth of a run out of it, and this happens to be day one. So, I'm not sitting here saying you got to go for it, but the fact that it's now held this 460 several times is certainly a positive sign for it. Just needs to close above now.
I'm reading all these things that mean absolutely nothing to me here. I'm from the IT department. I don't know, like up, down, line, this, gigabyte, this and that, state, down, 12. I don't know what all this stuff is.
I got one trick when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah, I would just reboot. I mean, that's what I've been doing.
Oh, no, 2 tricks I should say.
Apparently that's not the key. Okay, so right now, just looking at Apple, we may have, whoops, okay, that's a 1 minute. Oh. Darn it! All these wicks, like I can't win today on this. So Apple, we're still down here, 139.20. Which trying to watch this break right there. Tesla right now taking out day's high. Is that what's happening?
What just happened on?
Okay, Tesla's going parabolic a little bit. Did it go to 8? Did it go to 822 on Tesla? Was there news there, Brendo? That just. My thing just froze up again. This is frustrating, man. I don't know.
I have it here. 820 and then all the. That didn't go to 820, guys. Did it go to 820?
I'll have it. No.
No, right?
E-signal.
Okay, so it didn't go to 820 because 820 would have been a level on Tesla. We've been talking about that one for a while. You go all the way back into April here and then back all the way into February, and you had a bit of an 820 as a key level. So that's a big mark. I've been waiting for it to get there. Of course, like it finally makes this break, and I'm not even looking at Brenda. What's up, buddy?
Just checking around, guys. There's actually a few people saying, in case you're wondering, there's no news on Tesla on the interwebs. So I'm going to keep an eye out here. But yeah, big volume spike there as well for Tesla, guys. We'll keep looking.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Thanks for the super chat there. Neil can FIS your, oh, you mean fix your computer? I can see with your eyes. No, I don't actually think I can fix the computer. It's just that when Sean and I owned our own office, we didn't actually have like IT like we do here. And so we had one trader who actually had an idea about computers. And when he left, it was Kunle. He left, I became the IT department, and I had 2 tricks. Turn it off, turn it on, and then release and renew the IP address, and those 2 things. And if they don't work, well then, hey man, your SO.
Yeah, I mean, I know. Look, I know lots about computers. I mean, the release, renew.
That's all I know.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do. It's just, I'm just gonna let them figure it out because if I start dealing with it, then it might be a little bit of a problem. Yeah, like as you can see here, I don't even have any data. But okay, we'll just move forward. So right now, CRISPR Therapeutics. All right, so it does go. I mean, it's crazy because we were like 10 cents away from getting out of this trade for the first part of it. Now it's coming back in. We're gonna have to watch this NASDAQ move to the bottom here. So we'll see. We'll just wait to see what happens here on CRISPR.
Oh, shoot.
Go ahead. Did I just get out of something? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I was gonna do this.
Figure out what's going on.
And like every now and then, it's bank error in your favor. So I missed CCXI at the price that I want, that 36.75 on the way up. It then stalls at 37. I'm like, okay, well, I usually leave my bid in there because if it's resistance, it often turns into support. So I end up buying the dip. So every now and then the market gives you a second chance. It doesn't mean it's a good thing. That's what I got out of it. It's at Orphazyme. Orphazyme just broke $5. So all you bulls out there in Orphazyme, maybe you got something here. You even have me thinking that. We'll see what happens there. I mean, I'm not going long in it just yet. I might take a shot a little bit closer to the close here if it can hold above $5, which it's not doing. But you know, this CCXI gives me a second chance at that same 75 price. Because it stalled several times at 37, I will scalp some out in front of 37. Why? Because it's an even dollar break at this point. So I can always add to this on an even dollar break. And if it pops back down, I can buy the dip if I happen to still like it. So I'll go that route, see if I can't get some more shares here. Like, I don't know, like I'll go cross up to like 05 or something like that. And then just see if I'm able to add CCXI on an 01 break, and then see how far it can go. I mean, obviously, you know, I don't think it's going to 45 today. That's pretty unreasonable, but certainly you had this lower high in the same move. That's 37.80, and then up here you got 39.20. So, you know, those getting out in front of those 2 levels would be a fantastic trade. I'll take that all day, every day. Tesla comes all the way back. I mean, not all the way back, but Tesla just came almost all the way back. I'd have to think that, you know, this broke out from these morning highs at like 812. And we're sitting right here in front of 812. Like, you got to figure with the market not exactly crashing or anything, that this could be not a horrible level. As I say that, it's already crashing through here. Forget about 812. Maybe let's check it back to like 810. It's like the bid is just falling. Tesla's giving everything back. Usually it's good for a little bit of a bounce in these levels.
Just because there was no news there, right? I mean, Bitcoin broke back up. Brendan mentioned that to us there, that maybe there was something about Bitcoin breaking up, but I don't really. Let me just see here. Let's see if yeah, I mean, there was really Bitcoin broke at 1 o'clock, but really Bitcoin not doing anything right now. So we'll just, we'll just wait to see what happens there with Tesla. It could have just been a break, to be honest with you. It could have just been a technical break. Someone could have fat fingered something as well. I mean, it could be this 811. I mean, it wasn't a huge move, guys, to be honest with you. I mean, it was an 8, like we're making this as it was a big deal, but it wasn't really. I thought maybe we went to that 822, which is why I got excited. But again, we do chart all the dark prints, so sometimes there is something that gets hit up there that will get broken or just. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that print, but all the way to the upside there. But it could have just been this break, right? The day break high of 811.20. So it could have just been there. Break, break, break. Someone marketed in, and unfortunately, instead of a limit, they hit a market order and they went all the way to 815. So that could be it. And again, if you're a long-term holder of Tesla, it's not going to matter. Like if you're long at 811 or 815, really. So the guy, trader, I guess, or I don't know who it was, a fund or whatever, took all these shares right there on crazy volume. And it looks like it started to get sort of ramped up from here, 808, 809. So let's look to see if there's any support down there if it does come back in. I mean, that's the big thing to look for, in my opinion, when you're trading this kind of stock. So we're also looking for the NASDAQ to go, which is starting to help CRISPR a little bit. So CRISPR is right back to the highs again on this pop. So we got a nice little pop there for RSP here. So this, to me, maybe we should get out of this. We are sitting just a few pennies higher than this in the 40s, looking to take that. But again, we've double topped here. To me, that doesn't really matter. It can go. Again, we get one big trade through here, and we're laughing. So let's see if CRISPR wants to go through. We could just take it out right now at 30. But again, we're long at 08. So it'll be 28 cents. I mean, I'm still, look, we're positive day. It's going to be another positive day. But we're going to hope for 98.50 here on CRISPR, and then just see what happens going to the high side. Like I said, I am expecting a little bit of a sell side here into the close, like it's been happening for a while there, especially when the NASDAQ is up. I mean, we've seen the NASDAQ be down and then buyers come back in, but let's talk PaySafe. Why not?
I actually don't think we've had an up day in the last week in the NASDAQ where there wasn't a sell into the close. Two things here. I just tweeted this one out, and I'll say, sometimes having an out sucks. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't have one. Everyone's like, "Oh, Neil, you got out too early on Allo." Yeah, of course I did. But I mean, I had two entries that I liked, and I had stops for each of them. First was 1650, and then when I got it on the failed break, every time I take that setup, I'm giving it to the previous high. And then once it broke that level again, it's hard to dig in. Like there's absolute air between that price area back on last Friday, I should say. And the gap fill, there's nothing there. So ultimately you could just say, okay, get back in front of 17 even. Fair enough, but that's not necessarily the way I approach things, and it's going to be a fantastic trade. Anyone that caught this one and sort of stuck to it, like you could have actually gotten short again at that level I liked, like around that 40 or 50 area on the consolidation, and that still would have worked. So yeah, there's maybe some reasons I could have gotten back into it. CCXI, I do end up adding to it when it breaks. This wick isn't real. That's just a dark pool print. So it broke that 37. My entry is at 75 here. I took some out in front, then took the breakout. So I have an average price right now in the low 90s here because I did take some profit first. But I want to see if this can run now. I'll give it back, like a few pennies past that 75, and then look to see if this can extend the move going into the close. If this does not hold, then this is a level I'd short off of tomorrow. But for today, I'm looking for the breakout off of these levels on CCXI. And for those of you still tracking DATs, I mean, nothing's really happened. It has bounced a little bit off the bottom of this range here. I'm trying to be patient. If I was trading this like I was in the afternoon, I'd been long multiple times off 11 and then taking a small amount out to 1140 and then trying to hold for the home run and then watch it probably break the low. So I'm looking for lower levels to even take any kind of a shot here. And we're running out of time for that to happen anyways, as there's only 25 minutes left. Then we gotta be flat.
Yeah, we sure do. We gotta be flat at that time. I'm trying to edit my chart here because I do have some crazy wicks up here. Oh, here it is. Let's go to 140.50 here. You could do this on Prosper Pro. You can actually edit out some of these wicks, so it makes your charts at least somewhat better here. So we'll zoom in. Apple, we're getting very close to getting out of this one, man. We'll just ring the Reggie on this one, as we keep saying all the time. We're right back to the upside on this, Dave. So Apple, great trade. We're still long all the way down here. If we can get it out right here, we'll do that. We're actually, I mean, I should just do it right now. $1.50, $1.70 in the money. Like, really, what's the difference here? So we're going to wait for that. But coming through now on this trade, hopefully a good one, man. Right back to the top. We held this one the whole time. Like, and if you're watching, like, The sticky note today had DATS, it had Apple, Apple Longs it had on it, it had COS on there, and it had AMD. I mean, today's sticky note, unbelievable. It just keeps on reigning supreme, in my opinion. And thank you for watching, and thank you for enjoying the sticky note, because, yeah, a big time movement to the upside here. We talked about that Apple news was way overdone, and that's why we're long. So sometimes, again, you got to believe in the trade, and we did that. We put Apple, now we're going to put it on the board. I'm debating just taking this rate now. I mean, we're only a few pennies higher than this into the 80s, so a little move up for Apple, and we'll get out of there right at this level. So far, so good on that trade. CRISPR's, stopping at that top. So yeah, okay, the DATS call. All right, so again, I'm up on DATS today. So it is what it is. I mean, you guys got to talk about your own kind of books here. When I'm long 16 and it goes to 17.30, that's an out, right? And so that's what we talked about early. Then we went long again, 15.75, got out there. I mean, it went to 16.75, so that's $1. So $1 twice there for DATS if you wanted it, and then obviously a breakdown right there. So you got to judge, and then we made long there. So you got to judge your own book, guys. Like if you're trading DATS, you got to understand the way that I trade and the way that you trade is going to be a little bit different. And I mean, these are real outs here on DATS. So, I mean, I hope that everyone's okay on it. But yeah, that's the problem. When I'm going to put something on the sticky note like that, it does, we are day traders and flat at the end of every single day. So you got to try to remember that and take everything with a grain of salt when we talk about this, and really just understand that we're in and out. And thank you for watching the show, guys.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, day trading is a little bit different sometimes from what other traders are going to be doing. This Orphazyme, like I said, if it tried to hold above that 5 even, you'd even get me on board here. It broke 5. I took the 01s when it took it the second time, because the first time it broke 5 even, it came right back in. So second time through, I'm like, okay, now we're trying to hold a bid. It held the higher low. That's great. I like that. And then there was this 510 seller that came in, which actually hit it up here when it looked like it was going to break. It obviously didn't break. So my average price now is 506, as you can probably see. I still want to see if it can hold this higher low. I do have one offer in front of 20s, just in case it breaks at 520, and then you get some momentum to the upside. But like I said, if this thing can hold above 5, decent chance it could run. As we said, we're day traders. There is always the possibility that if we hold up here, I could be sitting at 506 long. It can hold this support at 485, but not run until like 4 o'clock or one of those after-hour movers, which wouldn't really benefit me much. But I'm offering 519. I'll probably offer in front of the high of the day a couple of times anyways, just to get out in front of 550. Look, it's a post-halt high at an even number like 550. The chances that it breaks in the last 20 minutes, I think, are fairly slim. But it's got me on board, flipping from the short in front of 5 to the long in front of 5. I oftentimes don't flip these trades when I like a stock to the short side. Today, it's got me a little bit convinced, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. We'll take profit. That seller is a little bit smaller. Wrong way, Neil. That seller is a lot smaller at 510, only about 5,000 shares on there. It was up 3 times that before, and it held. Let's see what happens this time if it wants to break it. If it does, I'll be covering in front of 20s and probably in the 35 range, and then in front of 550 to get flat. I should update this GWH trade because I know I'm sitting in it and it's good, but it is starting to get back into the upside, going the wrong direction on my quote board. It's starting to go to the upside here, big volume spike. It just checked up at exactly $19, which that's where my trail was on this thing. I'm going to go manual on it now because it's late in the day. If it breaks 19, I want to see how it trades above that price because it just turned on a dime at 19 even, so I don't want to have an automatic stop out there on the last of my shares. I probably have no choice but to cover in front of 18 if it comes down. So, the pie in the sky dreams of getting $5 on this trade are probably gone, but I can still cover some cover the last of it in front of 18 for about $3.50. One of the things that I've wanted to do when one of these names, I'll just show you on the chart here. When one of these names does this move, like that 930 pop and drop, and I had to chase this. I wanted it up here, and I chased it all the way down to 22. But when it starts going, oftentimes I'm covering here, and if I don't get the reload, your one shot was at 21s when I really wanted to be shorting 22s. There's no chance to get back in at a price that I liked. Maybe you can make an argument for 20 even here that I could have gone in, but even then I was waiting for a little bit higher. So it's just like, if you can't get back into more of it and it just keeps on falling, hold on and try and see if you can get it all the way down to the biggest support that you can find. And to me, that was all the way back in here to 16 from yesterday. So that's what I tried to hold into. It's obviously not going to work, at least for now, but taking 18s, there's nothing wrong with that. I just wish I'd had a chance to get more shares. Now, the bigger problem is because I had to chase it in the first place, there was never any way I was going to get the position I wanted on the stock. It's now broken 19 again. Give it a few seconds to see if the bid actually holds up here, and I'll probably have to manually get out of it. The volume coming in as well to this at the end of the day.
As a gambler, Jennifer Schultz, I like locks. So apparently, any was the lock of the day today. So we can have a quick look at any. And I don't know what exactly. I guess it was maybe breaking this high, Jennifer, that you were looking at, maybe in the pre-market 788 or so that. But I don't know if that was good. Any down to $7 maybe was a good long as well. So thanks for bringing up ANY to us today. As yeah, it's been on a nice little run here in the 20-minute chart. So nicely up. Oops, I don't need that up. Nicely up here to these levels. So a good trade on any for sure as we go. So okay, thank you, Jennifer, for that. Look, I just put on here a trail. So hopefully this Apple trade can come. We would have been out there. We were offering 80s, but we canceled. Well, actually, we were offering 88s, but we could have got them out right there. We can get it out right now. I'm going to take this one a little differently. I'm just going to trade it if we break back down below here anyway. 140.60. We break down below 140.60, then we'll get out of Apple in case we're wrong on the sell here at the end of the day. Because what if it comes out a bid? Then we take out the high, and then we'll be upset that we got out right here. So this way, if it comes back in, we only have a little while to go here, and if it comes back in, we should be able to get out just like that DAX trade where we can get out real quick. If we need to do that, we'll do that on Apple. So with that being said, we do have the imbalances out right now. So let me flip over to the Canadian imbalances that are just out. We'll sort it by size. I don't know what TCN is. Maybe there's a buyout or something. $17 with a big buy. It's a buy. So yeah, the chart looks ugly. I don't think there's anything on that. TRP's on there, an expensive one, so we can look to see that's also a bid. You see a little bit of a bump up right there, but nothing on the Toronto Exchange here that really excites me, that's for sure. So we'll hold off on that one. And then we've already talked about our Apple trade and our CRISPR Therapeutics. That's all that we've made so far today, is just looking at these. Came back up to 33. We talked about that. I'm still waiting. That, like I said, if we can get a big bid on here, then we'll do that. Just looking up because that's where my screeners are right now. Vinco Ventures is near 7, BBIG. We can have another look at that one coming through. I just use the e-signal scanner. What I do is I can show it to you here. I don't know if I hope you can see this. I'm not going to change the font or anything, but it's called a hot list. So if you have eSignal, it's called a hot list, and then I just do US and then the trade rate. So anything that's popping sort of can show up here. So AMD's running through a lot of trades right now. Whatever FKWL is, ORF is on there as well. So NEO's on there, but this is what I look at. And this is sort of, that's sort of been what's been struggling for me with the computer. I think it's just bogging this all down, but as far as I know, we're supposed to have decent computers here.
That's the idea.
That is the idea. So we'll talk about that. We do have some people working on this in the background, so that's why I've been sort of a little bit hands off with this right now. But we will get this all figured out. So no worries. Other than that, man, we're waiting for these imbalances to come out. Oh, let's go to one of our red stocks for today. We're red on 2 names, guys: JPM and COS. That's it. They're only red on 2 names today: JPM and COS. And JP Morgan, yeah, it looks like it did break, obviously, that 161, but did we break the 160 flat? No, we did not. So we tried this name right here, QuickTime, early. Look at this drop. I mean, every single time I'm going to do this, buy in front of a level that I think has a chance of holding. And at that time, it was 161. Doesn't hold. We get to the downside and we get out. So right now, JP Morgan at day's low. Watch out, man. Just like Delta reported today, we saw them to the south side. We see JP Morgan to the south side. Tomorrow we have Wells and
Morgan Stanley and
Goldman.
Bank of America.
I think, for some reason, I don't think it's Goldman. But anyways,
okay,
yeah, maybe Bank of America. What's up, Brendan?
All right, guys, thanks so much. We're very happy to have Mitchell Scott back with us, the co-founder and CEO of the very good food company. And it's an exciting day, and we'll show you here in a second why. A brand new listing, guys, on the NASDAQ as of today. VGFC is the ticker on the NASDAQ. Great to have you back, Mitchell. Congratulations, first of all. This is a big deal for the company. Tell us a little bit about what this means overall going forward for the very good food company.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on the show again. For us, it means just, NASDAQ, one of the best exchanges in the world, broadens our investor base, more liquidity, and overall, able to deliver more value for our shareholders, being on the big board.
And if you missed it the last time, guys, that the Very Good Food Company was on, this is a plant-based focused food company with a wider range of products. Why don't you give everyone just a quick refresher there, Mitchell, as to what the Very Good Food Company offers.
Yeah, absolutely. So we started as a Very Good Butchers, so creating high quality plant-based meat alternatives. We had the first vegan butcher shop on the west coast of Canada, and really doing everything you might see in a traditional butcher shop. So not just burgers and sausages, but ribs, steaks, pepperoni, deli meats. We've since acquired a plant-based cheese company, rebranded as the Very Good Cheese Co., and really looking to get into other product categories as well. I mean, obviously the whole plant-based food space is on fire right now. So looking at sauces, spreads, dairy alternatives, ready-to-eat meals. I think we've got 20 to 30 products scheduled to hit the market next year that we're working on with our R&D team. So really looking to have a broad range of products in different categories, but with a focus on premium products with great ingredients, great taste, and healthy as well.
Let's talk about this pilot program, because a brand new pilot program set to launch very shortly in December, in fact, with the company delivering meals directly to consumers' doors through such companies as, you may have heard of a few of these, Ubereats and DoorDash, to name a few. Tell us a little bit about this program.
Yeah, so this is a pilot program actually for our meats. So it won't be a prepared meal, but it'll be our meat products. And what really kicked us off was we saw that there's going to be a big turkey shortage apparently hitting America this year. So we thought, how can we get our products to consumers more easily? So we partnered with a number of different companies, including Ubereats, DoorDash, and a few others. And we're going to be launching in I think 10 or 12 cities in the States with 30-minute same-day delivery. So you go on your app, there'll be a little Very Good Butcher store, and you'll be able to select and order your meats and have it delivered within 30 minutes.
For anyone who is interested in this delivery and some of the products, why don't you tell everyone, if it's not by delivery, where they can find the products in their own neighborhoods?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've just launched into U.S. retail. We're in about 400 stores, a lot of independents, rallies, a number of smaller chains as well. In Canada, we're in most of the big grocery stores, Thrifty Foods, Save On Foods, Sobeys, and then we also sell online, across North America as well. So that's a 2 to 3 day delivery, but we have the full selection available online.
It's an exciting day. VGFC again, guys. The Very Good Food Company. The official launch today, first day of trading on the NASDAQ, on the big board. So once again, thanks so much for choosing this platform to come on and talk about it this afternoon, Mitchell. And the Very Good Food Company, we appreciate your time as always and look forward to an update.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me. Cheers.
Have a great day. There we go, guys. The Very Good Food Company, again, the ticker, guys, VGFC. It's on the NASDAQ now.
Yeah, so I mean, everyone can
Super
trade
exciting.
it.
Like
It was on the venture, right? So we could obviously trade it and look at it here.
monumental day.
I did see in the chat a couple people are like, it's not on my broker doesn't have it yet. Just every now and then, when something comes on the first day, there will be time to time. It won't be available on certain platforms with certain brokerages. Just always contact your broker, because sometimes it can be some kind of an oversight on their end. So always check with your broker. Hold them accountable. Hold your broker accountable. Like, they serve you. So if something isn't going right, or you don't have something that you think you should have available to you, then you ask them, right? Like, nothing ever happens if you don't ask and if you don't try. So that's all I'm going to say there as a response. CCXI, it's back to that 37. I got the fill, the first fill in front of that 20 level, and then it kind of pulled back in here right to that 36.75. I didn't want to add because it's a bit late in the day, so I am holding on to the last of these shares to see if it can push higher. But if it breaks 36.75, I'm out of here, guys. And then thank you, Damian Stevens, Annie, and Dats. Big levels on that stock, both stocks, both of them, and fantastic trading opportunities. Of course, we love all you guys and love all the super chats and all the support. It's a heck of a lot of fun. Gonna have to get flat, so I'm gonna have to cover this plug trade at some point. Running out of time. It's almost imbalance time, and I don't know if I want plug power or any of the EV stocks right now, or energy stocks at 350. I kind of feel like imbalances could be a thing on a Fed day.
Yeah, good point there on the Fed day. CRISPR, we had to get out of that. You saw that go to the downside, so we're out of that. Our Apple trade seems to be working right now. We're $1.70 now in the money, and the plan of action to get out of this if and when you know, the market fell down. Seems to be a good one. We're still in this name. Apple, we'll see what happens right now with the market bumping up to day's high, and the NASDAQ up 0.72. It's been rocking and rolling all day today. Wow. AMD, again, man, if you guys had that trade with me, that's been a big one. I hope maybe you're still holding on to it, but we just went parabolic a little bit there on it. It doesn't look so much when I zoom out, but what a big day it's been for AMD. We initially had that at 106 and covered it right there at 108.75 or whatever it was, and then you just have a nice move right now on some of these names, like an AMD going right back to the upside. So, wow, a good move there, and looking to take out day's high. I'm not willing to do anything right now just because of the fact that, like we've mentioned, we are expecting, well, not expecting, imbalances will come out in about 30 seconds, and we'll show them to you. I'm guessing they're going to be buy side at this point with a nice little move to the upside here on the NASDAQ. So there you go. We'll see if it comes through. I said days high on the NASDAQ. That's incorrect, as we did have a big move right there, but it's just trying to take this level out. And then we had some action right off the open there, which we talked about with AMD. So yeah, not at days high yet. I stand corrected on that one, but we're going to wait to see what the bounces coming out right now. So hold on, just stay here. We will flip them and show you the size here and see what happens. So Enbridge. Okay, Enbridge with a nice little bid there. I don't know what's going on with that. And here goes Apple. We'll watch out Apple with a 1 minute chart taking off as well, as Apple's a buy. So yes, sir, man. The diamond hands finally paying off here on AAPL as it's ripping to the high side. BABA a sell, which is strange. BABA's having a fantastic day today. It was bigger, but still 3% is nice for Alibaba. We'll put this down here so you guys can see this. GM, okay. I mean, that's a big name. It's been on a big run. So GM, no surprise there. Not really moving the stock. I don't really see anything else there, but this Enbridge one is a sell. That's kind of strange. So we'll see what happens with Enbridge, but that's a name that I own. There's Disney, as he talked about dividends. Someone mentioned dividends. I mean, Enbridge, I've been a holder of that stock forever. I think the best dividend payer in the TSX. Okay, so 173 right now. Disney looking to take this out. Wow, a lot of stocks making moves today. We may have found a bottom here in the market. I mean, I'm not going to call that until we wait the end of this week. I'd like to see what happens, but a lot of names look like they're at some key levels right here. So Disney with a buy, that's a good sign.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about for market bottoms, or it might have been in videos, probably on the live show, was the supply constraint concerns. All right, so your chip shortages, and then all these supply issues, like container ships just piling up, and all of this nonsense. And it's not just that you want to see in earnings season, more positive talk with that regard, for coming from CEOs, coming from companies, but you want to see the market's reaction to the negative news, right? So when Apple comes through saying they're going to, pull back in terms of expectations on some of the sales, then yeah, and they're going to have the concerns because of the chip shortage, and they're going to trade to the upside. It's the reaction on the bad news that can matter as well. So you start to see that happen a couple of times, and that's to me what would signal that some of these issues are done being priced in. Like I said, I would get out of plug. So we finally ring the register on this one. And we did have plug in the morning on the dip buy at 31.80, but this trade was at that 32.35 pullback. So we'll take about $1.15 on the last, $1.20 on the last of these shares. I still like what plug is doing on this breakout, and every time I've talked about it today, I've sort of said, the 200 period is right here, just above 35, and you have some resistance between 34.50 up to that 35, 36 area that it could still press into. So while the clean energy names have been making, a lot of them making fantastic runs, this is a legitimate breakout that I think might have at least another day or two in it here before I start thinking about shorting and plug ultimately. But we'll see what happens. About 7 minutes to go. I'm trying to hold on to Orphazyme and CCXI. I've taken most of my CCXI out, but Orphazyme might end up giving back some of what we made here on the long trade, the short trade, I should say, and that is the third time I've typed in the wrong set of letters for Orphazyme. So I tried, it got stopped out at 5. Then I went long in front. It's still holding this lower high, at least for now, but there was a seller at 5.10 that even when broken a couple of times came right back and decided to sell at that price. So it could not chew through there. I tried actually hitting it. I hit the offer, but it seems like it's not going to go. I did say it's a bullish look if it could have closed above $5. It doesn't seem like it's going to do that. But hey, I mean, it's holding up at that 460 level, so there is some support at least still left on Orphazyme. And it's only day one. There's always a chance it could run again. But I wanted to see this, break out through this $5 level and make a definitive move at the top, and that would have been, sort of an obvious. Let's see if it has a day 2 run in it. Although, if you ever see that happen, if it had broken to the top side, and then you're looking at a 550 post-market break, be very, very wary if one of these things opens up, gapping up to $7 or $8. Because if it gaps too far, then it essentially gets pumped early on in some of these boards or whatever, and then it just gets dumped all pre-market, and then suddenly if you can't sell to the open, you're holding the bag. So be careful about how these things gap up. It's almost like you don't want it to gap too far, then it has more of a chance for some buyers at reasonable prices and then run higher.
Yeah, I was just looking. Yeah, good. I mean, good talk. I mean, that's what we're trying to do is educate everybody on some of the ideas that we have and the experiences that we have over 22 years for me, and then similar for Neil here. So you add them up, and it's definitely way too many to talk about. So Mcafee right now, just looking at this because it's starting to make moves right now. Of course, this is antivirus, so up to $21. And I mean, this is barcode central right here. So I'm actually interested now. I mean, if Mcafee, if and when, I mean, they're going to have earnings, but I don't know when they are. But this is a name here where we've sort of made highs, $32. It's a relatively new name. They're one of the names that's up since their IPO, barely, but they are. And, you know, they have a bottom at 15 here. Look at Mcafee down here, guys. Mark this down on your little, you know, whatever sort of notebooks you do looking for earnings and whatnot. But Mcafee right here could get ready to make a move one way or the other. Could be one, you know, putting calls, you know, butterflies, whatever you want to put on there. That's your guys' call again. But Mcafee looking pretty juicy here, and especially with a nice upward move today in Mcafee, up that 2%. So there could be something there, taking out day's high right now. Apple's about to come out, man. We break through 140.80. We held it. This is the level that we were going to take it out anyways. We thought maybe it could hold. We'll still hold this all the way to the end of the day, but we'll see where it goes from here. Doesn't look like it's doing much, but right now, that is Apple coming out soon for $1.60. If it hits 180, we'll have a $1.60 winner. So that will come out of the and then we'll move on from that one. Congratulations to everybody that's made some money today. And again, I want to give a big thank you to Damian Stevens one more time there. Any and Dats today, guys. Check out the watch list, and I love this, man. Sticky Note Nation. So what's up to that? Bang there. I love how AMD's on there. So yeah, AMD today is a big one for me. My number one stock of the day is going to be AMD. So followed by that, now AMD, DATS is right there. JP Morgan was a loser. And then Apple. I mean, Apple's going to be bigger than that as well. But we wait for Apple to get out before we, you know, celebrate that one. But no matter what, we're going to be out at 180 or 179, depending on where the slippage is, even a little bit lower than that. What's up, Brendo?
All right, a few minutes to go here, guys. We'll get some earnings coming through. We had JP Morgan, obviously, this morning was the big one. Delta as well didn't fare too well. Overall, the banks have been under pressure all day long. We're going to get a couple more banks to come. Here is what I am looking at right now. If you want to see, there we go. So we need. I told Rob and Lucas that we need some Jeopardy music here because we are waiting for earnings. So maybe if I get it to actually load, we'll pass it along before the end of the show, guys.
Lovely. Well, look, we know what's going to be the rest of the banks coming through.
What is even happening? Like, I don't understand. Like,
before we came on, like, my internet was slow, and then all of a sudden this started happening to you. So I don't know. There's like a ghost in the system.
There must be something about this all. But here's Delta here from today. I mean, we can look at that.
We got crushed.
Yeah, crushed today, down 6%, and again, which is kind of a shame because the ES is up 0.3 and the NASDAQ is up 0.7 right now. So not a good day for Delta shareholders for sure, as it's just come all the way down. I thought international flights would be a good thing, but we're right into a spot where you could possibly buy it. We had a video about Delta, and you know, if it comes back into these areas, it's a nice one, man. I mean, you go all the way back down here, 38 and change. Looks like Maggie solved the problem, Brendan.
Yeah, all she had to do was like walk over here, and it was magically better. There you go. Thanks, Rogers.
Whoa! Why you got it? Whoa! Why you talking trash about Rogers, man? Hater. So it was, yeah, Citigroup, Bank of America. We talked about that was the one I was forgetting.
All of them.
But Walgreens and United Health, right? So I'm interested in United Health because I'm looking to pick up Danaher, and on a bad print at United Health, I think Danaher could maybe get a sympathy push to the downside, which might be a good buying point. So Morgan Stanley, of course, and Domino's Pizza. There's some decent names on the earnings board. There's only 2 minutes to go. Thank you guys so much. But there was a question about GWH. I did give my thoughts on this, but I don't mind sort of repeating it. I trailed out of this at 19. I talked about how ridiculously weak this was. It's only been in the market a couple of days. It's actually holding up above the 16 where I thought it could fall to. I'll be looking to play off of the same shorts. 25 If you guys remember yesterday in the afternoon show, 25 was a monster level on GWH, and then it absolutely gave it up, even attempting to get to that price again today. So on any strong move, be wary of the $25 level. It was a huge buyer there on day two, I guess it would be, and then there was a big sell in front of it today. So that's your resistance point. To me, it's a short in front of that level for sure, and then supports down at that 16, which will I think you're possibly revisiting that tomorrow at some point. So with about 1 minute to go, I mean, I'm not jinxing it to say the market's going to end up in positive territory because, I mean, it would take a flash crash for that not to be true in the last hour of the day. Stick around. We do have the trade of the day coming through. Sean's going to be giving that one to you. Miss V is back. She wore green because she knew to wear green when she came back. And the streak, of course, continues. So, what can we say? Like, it's been a fantastic day. It's also hump day, which I don't think we've said even once today.
Yeah, we sometimes, I just want to notice that Ford here comes with a little bit of a sell. Unfortunately, my charts won't even load, so I can't even show it to you, really. This is Ford here on the 1 minute chart, so we can have a quick look into a sell right now. So, I mean, it's not doing anything, but we could hit a little market sell-off right here. We did get out of our Apple for $1.60. So with only 10 seconds left on the bell, I don't know who's going to be ringing it. Oh, there you go. Miss V getting ready to ring it. Watch out as that drops down there. There she is.
What the hell?
That's fine.
Okay.
All right, ring that bell there. I don't think Lucas was hurt in that, but we did have our sound. So we have a wall up. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. I don't think it's as bad as you guys think there, but the sound wall came down for our memes and movers.
It just more shocked me. Like, I was like,
I'm just glad that didn't wipe out Valeria there.
So I thought like Miss V was back there, and I was like, oh my god,
no monitors were hurt in the making of this video.
I did see Rob working back there, so there's absolutely no surprise that happened.
Lucas was too, climbing around in the ceiling.
Lucas has never really done anything wrong.
No.
It's probably Rob was back.
Except kick ass and take names with his black belt. That's the only thing he does.
I mean, Trader Pratt is also running away from Lucas right now. I mean, on the regular. Like, there was a challenge issued for a cage match, and
maybe that's why he leaves that
You
one.
can rent time at a ring or a cage, and we could settle this. You could put the glove on.
By the way,
you guys have a shot of that? Wait.
I don't know.
Wait, there it is.
What happened?
You
TV.
can't tell.
Oh, the TV got hit. So we did have a wall up there. You can see the ladder. You see the ladder? Like, that's what Rob was working with.
break.
And then you see it come right back. Be quiet, Rob. It was you, okay? We're going to stick with that. Okay, we have a monumental thing right now, and I have to show this. If you can go to my screen, it's actually pretty important, to be honest with you.
Yes.
John Wilkins, a member for 16 months.
Heyo.
Heyo, John, please send me, if you can find me on Twitter, @TraderTVSean, send me your address, and I'll send you something from our merch store. So John Wilkins, shout out right there. Thank you, John, for doing that for sure. I'm going to send you something. So John Wilkins, find me on Twitter @TraderTVSean, and I will send you something. Brendan, how did we wind up if your system's working?
It's not, so we won't even bother.
Okay, well, I'll tell everybody. NASDAQ 0.7. NASDAQ up 0.76.
Yeah, 0.3,
S&P.
0.3 for the S&P. It's positive.
Okay, so there we go. So some new developments
Bitcoin
happening
57,000
around here. As there's Maggie. I don't even know if Maggie even knows what happened.
No,
she doesn't. So she's coming out here. Rob did something really bad, Maggie. We should probably fire him. Okay,
just
so
saw.
let's just let's get ready for the trade of the day. Thank you so much. This was a good job. Today we had really fun, and yeah, Prad wasn't there, so he's not hurt. So don't worry, Prad will be here tomorrow, and this is going to be fun. So thank you so much, guys. It's been a fun day. Trade of the day with AMD. We'll see everyone tomorrow. Ciao.
Bye, guys.